Time to check in, our weekly check-in as it is now on Luck on Sunday with Simone Sear from Racing Welfare, Director of Welfare, because there is always, Simone, something new to tell us. And this week, as Helen Yeadon just touched on there in the interview, is Mental Health Awareness Week. And you must have been heartened to hear Helen talking about the way that her organisation have helped and are continuing to help with that.
Oh yes, very heartened. We're very aware of the fantastic work that goes on at Greatwood. So yeah, it's fantastic, and it leads on really nicely, I think, into Mental Health Awareness Week and its theme this year, which is of kindness.
And just tell me a little bit about how that's going to be manifest at Racing Welfare.
Okay, so Mental Health Awareness Week is an initiative that's run every year by the Mental Health Foundation, and Racing Welfare have supported it for at least the last 4 years, and each year it's gained momentum and got bigger. Normally our team would be out and about on race courses next week, handing out thousands of green ribbons to people and talking to people and raising awareness of mental health issues. So that's one of the main objectives. Also to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health issues and to raise awareness, ultimately, I think, of how to access help and support. This year, due to the pandemic, we're going to be having a digital and virtual campaign, so still a lot going on. We've produced a toolkit that's being sent out to a lot of industry stakeholders, and it can also be accessed from our website. So lots of graphics, information, people can show support, get involved, ultimately sharing stories of their experiences of kindness, and there's lots of resources to access on there as well.
Now, from a general Racing Welfare fundraising point of view, can you give us an update? Obviously, we spoke quite a bit last week about Furlong Factor and that campaign, but obviously we've been pushing the message as hard as we possibly can through the course of the pandemic. Can you give us an update 7 days on?
Of how much we've fundraised? We hit the target through the Furlong Factor, which is fantastic, and just been overwhelmed really by people's donations and support.
So the key challenges now, on the cusp of, as you say, Mental Health Awareness Week and the resumption of racing, how are you imagining that your role is going to change in the next 2 or 3 weeks?
At the moment, we are all at Racing Welfare. We're all going to be working as we are. We're going to be reviewing the government guidance on June the 1st, and slowly we're going to be looking at returning to normal work. But everything has still been happening for us, just as it always has. We've been working, and our services are still fully accessible. So it will just be slowly following the guidance and getting back to work safely.
And are you finding now that there are fewer calls coming in as we head out of the pandemic? Are you finding the industry beginning to sort of find its collective feet, or are people's concerns, anxieties, worries, financial difficulties as acute as they were 2 or 3 months ago? It's not fewer. The numbers of people accessing help and support from us is still climbing. I would say that the rate of that has slowed down, so it's not climbing so acutely, but we are still seeing increased numbers of people approaching the charity for help and support. Again, as we've seen before, the main issues are around financial issues and claiming benefits. So it's still very much, an issue for us at the moment. Numbers-wise, we have helped so far this year in excess of 3,000 people. And last year, just to compare that to the full year last year, we helped 2,500 people. So that's quite, it's quite an increase for us. It certainly is. Simone, carry on your absolutely brilliant work. Thanks so much for joining us, and look forward to speaking to you again. Well, probably next week, I would think.
Thank you. Thanks very much.